Hola, papitos and papitas. Oh my goodness. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm not a singer, but I wish I could. Have your kids ever told you to shh when you start singing? I'm just kidding. Maybe they did once, but it's okay. I forgive them. I sing anyway. I don't care. If I don't sing, my throat chakra hurts. If I don't sing or speak, woo-wee. You know, when I was a kid, my dad used to say that I just don't shut up. And he actually used to point the remote control at me, and it would hit a button, and I'm like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" He's like, "I'm trying to hit the mute button, but it's not working." Really, Dad? Not cool. And he used to say I was too sensitive. Interesting. So these are things that I carried with me throughout my life. What people say to me or have said to me as a kid. Like, even though my mom would say things like, you can be and do whatever you want, I also got the message of, don't be bigger than me. And that you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice in order to achieve. You have to work yourself to death in order to survive. These are the messages that I saw, and believe me, I appreciate my parents. I appreciate love them. I appreciate that my mom worked 3 and 4 jobs at a time to raise me as a single mother. We were never on welfare or food stamps or Medicaid, and she had me. You know, she had me. What I mean by that, yes, she had me as in gave birth, but she had my back. You know, she would die for me. She would rip somebody out. She was straight up mom. You know, she had my back, and she did sacrifice a lot. Even her physical body. She was a waitress. She had a 9th grade education, and she worked her ass off, and working as doing cocktails until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then get up at 5 or 6 and not go to bed at all, to work, do it all over again, breakfast, lunch, dinner shift, dot, 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 dot. I was a latchkey kid. I took the bus. I lived in Portland. I was raised in Portland from the time I was 2 until I moved to Salem when I was 19. And so I was on the I was in babysitter's arms, or I was on the bus and at school and at latchkey, or I was taking care of myself. I didn't like babysitters. I had some bad experiences with some and some great experiences with others. And you know, those are formative things when you're an only child who kind of takes care of herself, but not. Like, I had independence. I was on the bus from the time I was 7. In Portland, the bus drivers looked after me. You know, I had a little note pinned inside my coat from my mom. Like, anytime there was kind of money involved, or she put money in the envelope, write my name on it, her name on it, or phone number, and not the address, because she thought that was unsafe, which I thought was really smart, but her phone number at work, and she would send me on my way. And then I always had I wore a chain like this, and it had a dog tag on it. A dog tag, like a little coin thing that had my name and my mother's name and my mother's phone number, which I thought was very wise. I felt kind of odd being the only kid who had a dog tag or something, but you know, when I look back, she had my back. She protected me. So I'm really grateful for that. You know, we all have shadow things and stuff we carry over from our parents that aren't really pleasant, but if we really, 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 really take a look, I'm gonna say this: I believe everything is for my good. Everything, even the worst of things that have happened to me, the things I have experienced that have caused the most emotional and psychological pain and misery and physical trauma, they are all for my good. I'm sitting here. I have joy. I have joy. I don't want to say in spite of, because one has nothing to do with the other. I don't have to go through a lot of crap, you know, what we call crap, or that negative stuff, the labels that we put on. If there's no good or bad, then everything is just plain for my good. I mean, it's just, everything's good. And when I started to see my life that way a couple of years ago, I started to realize, oh, not only did my parents foretell my being of today by saying things like, you talk too much, you're too sensitive, you're too much of a free spirit, you just do what you want when you want. Yeah, I do. or putting, you know, having faith in me that I could take care of myself at 7 years old on the bus to TriMet to get to school across town, because my mother wanted me to have a better education. So I didn't go to school at the schools that had a lower income bracket. I went to schools, she made sure she enrolled me into schools that had a higher income bracket over in Northwest Portland. So, and she made sure that she jockeyed for me when I wanted to go to Benson Polytech to take health occupations. She made sure that I had the application, and because she believed in me. She knew I wanted to be a nurse and a doctor and do all this stuff, and she believed in me. And when I look back at those things, then I can go, okay, everything really has been for my good. Now, I could stay in the crap of it and say, oh, she abandoned me, and she didn't want me to, you know, she just didn't care enough about me to drive me to school every day. Or my mom was gone all the time, she worked all the time, she left me at home, I was lonely. Or my dad wanted to shut me up because he wanted to watch football. You know what I learned about that from my dad? I learned about football, dude. My dad was a former semi-pro football player in New Jersey. And he's a big dude, and football was his life, right? And during football season, which includes preseason and anything postseason, so pretty much all year, if I didn't watch football with him, I didn't get to see my dad. So I got to learn about football. Yeah, this is the girl right here. I like football. What? I love football. So I'm just saying, if everything is for your good, what's there to be mad about? What's there to be mad about? Look at all the skills that your parents gave you. They gave you the opportunity to be independent and joyous and know how to problem solve and know how to make friends and how to associate and integrate with people. I know for myself, if I hold on to all the things that I think my parents were, how is that any different from all of the judgments that people have about me because of my lifestyle or the way I look or the way I wear my hair? Because there are some preconceived notions of who people think I am. And it's matching more today than ever. I find it interesting sometimes when people will apologize when they cuss around me. If they only freaking knew. I used to say, oh, that's cool. I get it. I think it's bullshit, but I get it. But I get it now. People see in me their own reflection, and they see the essence of me instead of the old patterning that I have been living in, of drug addiction and that whole lifestyle. Oh, I could talk hours about the war stories of being a drug addict. It's not fun. Not fun being a drug addict that's using. It's fun being a drug addict in recovery. That's the shit right there. The shizzle my nizzle. And shizzle my drugizzle. I don't know. Jesus. One day, you'll be hearing about my story. You'll be hearing about it. I get to write. I get to write a book. I get to finish a couple books. So I'm pretty happy about that. I've been really afraid to finish until now, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm going to take an entire week, and I'm going to write and just write and write and write and write and write, and I'm really happy about it. So thank you for helping me to be who I've come here to be. It's pretty awesome. Thank you. I love you. Bye. Namaste.